Good morning, is it from Zetster's lab? Well, I'm ready. I don't know where we're going and if we're going, but I'm ready. This is all my clothes that I've been fixing and getting ready to pack for our trip to Thailand to visit our kids. So this is mine. So I don't know how many kilograms this will be, but I'll tell you later about what you need to pack for a trip. But this is mine, and I'm ready to start packing. And I was very excited about this trip until this morning. And when we opened our phones this morning, the message came through: they've blocked all flights, put South Africa on the red list again, blocked all flights to London. And all of a sudden, the whole New Zealand saga, remember our New Zealand saga? Gosh, just before COVID, we were on our way to New Zealand to go and work there for 5 years. And we got stopped when we tried to leave the house, when the messages came through that they blocked the airports due to COVID. So we just had to pack out all our bags, move back into our house. The miracle was we didn't sell the house, we didn't rent out the house, we didn't give our dogs away. We just cleaned the house out to use it as an Airbnb later or something. We kept the dogs, didn't know how long we're going to be away. And so when the pawpaw hits the fan and all the borders got closed, we just moved back into the house. But it was a real traumatic experience. We didn't realize it at that stage because, you know, when you're in a thing, you get the strength, you get the power, everything you need to get through it. But now 2 years later, we're starting to plan our trip to our kids in Thailand, and booked our flights. We got our jabs, did what we had to do in order to be able to travel to them. Yesterday we were still fighting to get our Thailand passes, because now you need a COVID pass in order to get in. So after my poor son that lives in Thailand, he had a total, let's call it, meltdown, and he, at the end, even the minister in Thailand contacted him, because he was going on to Twitter and Facebook and the whole 9 yards to get an answer why we couldn't get our passes. So yes, we got our passes eventually yesterday. We're supposed to fly out on Wednesday, and now South Africa got a new COVID variant, or I don't know what. I don't know who think about these things, but and now we're in that same place again. That will we go, won't we go, will we make it, will we be out before they close down, will they close down, will we make it? And all of a sudden this morning I had to deal with all these things, and I realized how traumatic our New Zealand episode was. You know, we deal with things, we get through things miraculously, coming out on the other side, and then sometimes, somewhere down the line, something happens, and all of a sudden it's as if things just start pouring out of you. Things that you really thought you dealt with came pouring out. So this is where I was this morning. I was in tears. It was anger, resentment, self-pity, call it fear, was just rising up in me. I was really upset. And then all I could do was just surrender, just said, Father, I surrender all this to you. I cannot do anything. I just surrendered this pain and this heartache and whatever. I surrender it to you. And so the moral of the story of tomorrow was I had a hair appointment, 8 o'clock, with my hairdresser. And I was really very upset. I was sad. I was fearful. I just wanted to stay in bed and cry. And but I just thought, you know, as I was surrendering the whole situation, I started to feel something else. And that is very strange. So I'm actually very excited about this. Yes, I was really sad. I was, but not devastatingly so. I realized it's okay to be sad. So I was crying and tears were flowing. And then I realized something, and that is just a miracle to me. I thought, okay, so I am now sad. Previously, I would have cancelled my hair appointment. I would have stayed home in my self-pity and cried and whatever. And I thought, you know, to hell with that. I'm going to my hairdresser. I will go and cry there. I am sad. So what? I'm sad. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's human. And it's fine. So in my sadness state, I'm going to the hairdresser. So I went. And when Tosca asked, and how are you doing? I said, don't ask me. And I just started telling her about the whole saga and that I'm sad. And it was wonderful. You know, why not be sad? When we're sad, be sad. Others can know you're sad. That's what the issue. So I went and she had put some foils in and she cut my hair. You know, I cut it myself in the previous video. So I went to her and she just got it into the style I wanted. Put in some foils. And I came back beautiful. So the moral of this story of the video is, whatever happens, I'll be beautiful. I'll be ready for it. In other words, so whatever happens, I'll be beautiful, I'll be ready. And spiritually speaking, I will be able to cope with whatever comes. And it brings me so much joy that I jumped out of my bed, ready and equipped to share this with you. Whatever comes, fear not, we'll be ready. We'll be beautiful, ready to cope. So it was so funny. I was talking to another friend on WhatsApp, and we were telling her about this because they're trying to get to Christmas to Switzerland. So they've also, then they get air tickets, and then they need to change it, and then they change it again, and then they cannot come. So now they're supposed to fly out in December as well, and so now all those countries are starting to close up again, so they also don't know. So I said, oh well, if we're not going, we will just go big and just have our Christmas here and just live. And that's when I said, but I went to Tosca, my hairdresser, this morning, and whatever happens, I'll be beautiful. So let's start to dwell on that. Whatever happens inside of us, we have the strength and the power and the wisdom and whatever we need to deal with it. We are beautiful enough, good enough, equipped enough to deal with it. And yes, the moral of the story of this morning is it's fine to be sad. Be sad, surrender all these, your your enemies, all of those things that's in you, as I said, fear and resentment. And it was an awesome place to be this morning because I needed to get rid of what was keeping me hostage, even though I didn't know it. I mean, I really believed and felt that I was okay with the whole New Zealand thing. At the end, we are very, very thankful that we were stopped and that we weren't allowed to get there. And then my husband was without work and whatever. And so we were thankful. And everything turned out perfectly and beautifully for us staying. So it was all for our good at the end. And then yesterday I read another thing where they said that same thing as everything is for your good. But the person just said it in another way. I think he said it just whenever you are in any situation, just realize it's for your good. So this morning while I was crying and I was having my pity party and I was dealing spiritually with these feelings and fears and things that were keeping me hostage, I said, this is for my good, this is for my good, while tears were flowing out of my eyes. I said, this is what I need. Oh, that's what the man said. He said, everything that you go through, just say, I need this, I need this. So I was saying this, I need this, not knowing to know this morning if we were going to make it or we were going to get there. I needed that. Why? Now when I'm full of joy again and sharing this with you, I realized why. I needed that because I needed to get free from those emotions and stuff that was keeping me hostage from our New Zealand episode. So we are all going through tough times, and it's not just the COVID episode, it's everything. I mean, a friend of mine, she lost her dad and she went for operation and many things. I just heard about that, her things this morning. So life in this realm is never easy. We go through tough things that really touches us very, very deeply. And we think we've dealt with those things, losing a loved one, getting divorced or whatever, trauma, burglary, death, whatever, and we think we've dealt with it until we get in a similar situation. And that's why I can honestly say this morning, what I'm going through is good for me. I needed this to be set free, healed, delivered, whatever, from what's keeping me hostage. So yes, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just living day by day, just doing whatever I need to do to find my peace and joy in the midst of this. And in the midst of this, whatever comes up, if it's anger or fear or resentment and whatever, to deal with that, to surrender that, to allow that to just pass through me. Because that is what brings me healing and deliverance. So yes, my friend, whatever happens, I'll keep you posted. Whatever happens with our trip, my clothes are ready. This is another thing that I had to change. Look at this beautiful white shirt. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at this. I don't know if you can see. I'm very far, but it's got very beautiful detail. But yesterday I had to do something. I never wore it. I bought it a year ago or something, and I loved the white, and it was on a sale at Pick and Pay, so I bought it, but it was very tight, and it was long sleeves, kind of tight, and oh, you know me, I don't like a tight thing. So I just never, it felt too much like a white thing that you wear in a factory or whatever. And then I decided I'm going to cut it. So I cut it off, and then I realized, but I've got the little cuffs. But the cuff was now too small, you can see. So I needed to add another piece of cuff. So I just took the piece that I cut off, made a little cuff, put it on, and now you can see the beautiful detail. There, just there's got this beautiful detail, and there at the back you don't really see that, but I love how this came out. All of a sudden, just this little detail here on the cuff that is a little bit shorter made this absolutely stunning. So yes, I'm beautiful. I'm ready for whatever comes. And that is, spiritually speaking, exactly the truth for all of us. We are beautiful, perfect in spirit, equipped to live victoriously for whatever comes next. So have a fantastic day. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Thanks for tuning in.